and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Dynamics Edition. We're about to get started here, jumping back into the adventure. I'll admit, I actually do use some various FAQs sometimes. There are certain pieces of information that I just don't really remember too well on my own, honestly. So I will usually, I used to go to a couple of different sites. I actually use Astral Esper's FAQ on GameFAQs now. It's well, it's really handy and it's got like everything in it. So let's head out and let me check my. Yeah, I should have enough money by the time I get there. I'm going to head out and. Okay, yeah, we can take these things. I'm gonna use ice. I'm actually heading back to Provoca because I realized they actually have a weapon that's better than what I have and doesn't cost as much. This is why I kind of use some of those guides. There's just little bits of information that I usually have trouble remembering, and so like the fine details of the stats of the weapons and stuff. So like the big thing is back in Provoca we've got the Scimitar, but I'm going to call it the Scimitar. It's only 200 gold, and it gives us more hit percentage. So basically, like, the chance of hits landing on enemies are, well, higher with that weapon, and it has just slightly more damage. So as far as damage ratings go, it does 1 more damage than the weapon that Max and Undine currently have, the Rapier, but it has a little bit better hit percentage. So, like I said, it'll just give them that little bit of an edge to be able to hit stuff better. And by the time I get there, I should have the money to buy 2 of them. Come on, guy, finish off the ogre. Stop using magic here. Yeah, those scimitars will be a bit cheaper than some of the other things. The saber, while it does do a little bit more damage, costs about 2.25 times as much as the scimitar, and so, and it doesn't it has the same hit percentage as the weapons they currently have. So it's kind of like, hey, it's not worth it, in my opinion. To spend that extra money, and really the hits is where they get them. Like, that's the really good thing that they can get here. Yeah, we got plenty of lit. Let's lit these fools up. Yeah, okay, that jump is awful. I'm sorry. I apologize for that one. So, fun little fact, I can't sleep, so I'm doing this recording. My sister came into town, and nieces and nephews are here for the next couple of weeks. And, oh, we're gonna let that guy's gonna finish off that one. And now I'm out of level 1 charges on X. But we should get to Provoca pretty quick here. But yeah, so for anybody who goes to GameFAQs, and for those of you not familiar with it at all, that's GameFAQs.com. And, okay, Max, no, like, so this isn't going to do anything, but Max is responsible for killing that SAHAG. So I'm just going to have everybody use their weapons, which won't, like, do anything, actually. Because Max is supposed to kill this one. I gave him 2 rounds, and he didn't do it. So I'm gonna have everybody else do absolutely nothing while Max finishes it off, because it's his job. Come on. There we go. So GameFAQs.com, and if you just navigate to Final Fantasy for the NES, you can find the Game Mechanics Guide by Astral Esper. really handy little piece. Like I said, I used to go to all these other websites and things, and it's just a lot more difficult to navigate, whereas I can just pull up this one document and you can just search it and find whatever the heck you need to. It's really pretty awesome. As you can see, I'm still using the fast run thing because I want to. Helps me get around quicker. Also, with some of the setting changes I made, I actually realized I can get much more. I can actually record much longer videos than I could before with this setup. So, and because I know I'm going to equip it right away, I'm just going to sell it. And another good thing about this guide is I've seen people run into a lot of issues of, oh dang, should I get this? Is it better than what I actually have? I don't know. Well, it also says there like who can equip something, so kind of good to keep in mind that information. Alright, and so yeah, you got a whopping 10 gold back from that, but there we go. So I think Max is only like one level away from being able to get another hit now that we got him that. So that's another thing is, well, like I said, it does a little bit less damage than that saber weapon. It Max can do a lot. Like if he gets 2 hits, then yeah, he's not doing as much with 1 hit as that other weapon, but then he can get. I'm actually gonna come up here and rest to get my spell charges back. But if he gets 2 hits for slightly less damage, he's actually doing more. So instead of doing, you know, let's use that old example, the 20 damage with 1 hit, he can do 40 damage with 2 hits instead of 23 damage with 1 hit. Yeah, you see what I mean? Alright, yeah, we'll go and rest here. Alright, and we're just gonna fight some of the enemies in the area down around Elfland, but not a whole lot this time. This is actually going to probably be kept to a relatively... Oh, nice. Do you not even have to reset? Is it just stay at the end and you fight Kaizokus if you go out on the ocean? I need to look into that a little bit more. I wonder if people have really investigated it more. As you can see, the scimitar is a nice, like, neon green, so it's almost like a lightsaber, which I think is kind of cool. And here's Corneria again. And you know what, actually, just because I am messing around a little bit here, we got our SAHAGs. So here's what we're gonna, you know what, because of the last fight, we're just gonna play it safe there. I'm gonna have both of the mages lit these guys because they have a bit more hit points, so the chances of just like one-shotting one with a lit isn't that great. But I think if we double lit, that we should take them down or at least get them really, really close. Yeah, see, there we go. Another important thing to let everybody know, I guess, is when we look at this game. Something to keep in mind with the weapons is basically if you just equip a weapon that you got later in the game, you're actually kind of a little bit more likely to get critical hits. It's one of the bugs in the game, actually. So basically, if you know anything about like computers and how they would set up like the database in the game, every weapon has an index number, and then they also have an assigned critical amount. You know, or like critical chance. Just like pretty much almost all of the calculations in the game, it's based out of, it's a roll out of 201. And so the way that it works is, so like the rapier they had actually had a 10 crit. So out of 201, it's roughly a 5% chance. However, the way that the game, and then like the scimitar we just got them has a 5, so it's actually about like close to a 2.5% chance not that great. How as far as what's programmed into the game. However, the way that it's set up in there is when this game goes to read what the crit chance is, it actually reads the index number. So the rapier, its index number is 4, the scimitar is 8. So you actually have about a 2% chance for the rapier and about roughly a 4% chance for the scimitar to get a crit. So right there, it's kind of, a better, like that right there is kind of a good reason that it's better to get the scimitar as well as it does more damage. Whereas if things were working right, I actually might want to keep that rapier, because it would crit twice. You get a critical hit twice as often with it, and so it might be worth hanging on to, or like getting that saber where it does more damage than the rapier and has the same hit chance, but it has the higher crit rate like the rapier does as well. So just things like that are kind of good to know with how some of the bugs work. So it's just basically the later you go into the game, the higher your chance of getting a critical hit with a weapon. It's kind of interesting. Alright, and like I said, we're just kind of messing around a little bit here. So you see here, can't get through there. It's all like blocked off. And there's a cave back over there. So it's like, so I'm gonna kind of play this a little bit like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to. Oh, see, that's where that fast walk thing's gonna get me. Since there's just one, I'm gonna go ahead and try to kill it and hope that. And dang it, I got poisoned. And luckily X was able to kill it. Well, so here's one of the dangers, and this is why I wanted to show you that screen before, is whenever you get poisoned, it reorders your party. I'm now probably going to go invest in some pure potions, because that just used up my only one. And that's why we hate asps. And so we're going to come in here, and oh, yeah, you know what, this is actually good, because I need money. I almost forgot that we had this, so I just got over 1,000 gold right there. So this is the Dwarf Cave. With this guy here, I guess he tells us that the crystal, even the blind can see, Astos stole it from Matoya. So now we kind of know what happened to the crystal, and we know Astos is kind of a jerk. And dwarves are apparently really happy, like half of them just say hooray. This guy's looking for the floater. They probably could have come up with a better name for the item, but and they bet they could float anything with it. That sound that we can't hear because we just have the awesome music of the Dwarf Cave / Matoya's Cave / some random dungeons later on, which makes it confusing. All we can hear is that awesome music. This guy's somehow able to say objects. So he's telling us that the bracelet can protect us just like armor. So he tells us about this smith named Smith. There's another happy dwarf thing. We might have actually talked to that one before. And yeah, I guess we already talked to that one too. The earth is rotting slowly from the west, so it looks like the issues with the earth are coming from the west. So this guy recognizes we're the light warriors, and he says he'll make us a truly legendary sword, but he needs adamant in order to make it. And over here we can't like forge weapons for ourselves. We can't. And oh hey, I forgot you can actually like look at these things. Yeah, so they're just it says no, that's just an unusable sample. So we can't just like steal the weapons there. But we can take like everything else. Alright, we come down here, and we've got Narek. So he says a rock blocks construction of his canal, and he needs some TNT. Nitrous, something, I can't remember what the other G stands for. And here we have a door locked by the Mystic Key, so we want to keep that in mind because it's a video game, so everybody's talking about this Mystic Key. Eventually we're going to get that Mystic Key, as you can probably assume. Did I talk to this guy? Oh yeah, I did. He's just another happy dwarf. Yeah, so luckily I got a little bit of money there. That will definitely help out. especially in purchasing some of those pure potions. So I've now got 1,800 gold. And if we run into anything, and yeah, we're running, because I believe these guys can poison us. And luckily nobody got poisoned, so we got out of there. And we're actually going to come over to Coneria because it's the closest place, so I don't want to risk running into something that can poison me. Oh, whoops. A little bit too far. Don't want to run the risk of running into something that can poison me right outside of Elfland, and then I haven't bought potions yet, and then you'll hear the really annoying sound of walking around while poisoned, and we don't want that. So, yep, buy a few of these. I think we'll buy a couple of pure potions also, but let's buy the pures first. Or sorry, I think we'll buy a couple of heal potions also. I think I said pure potions twice there. Okay, so that gives us a little more than a handful. Now, one thing that's nice about here is when you're using something like what I'm using for playing, you can just assign a turbo button and hold it down, and you can just fill up on heals if you need to. So now I've got a nice even 1,000 gold, and I have 8 heals, 6 pures. We're gonna come up here. And now I no longer have a nice even 1,000 gold. And luckily that lady didn't get in our way. And we're just gonna head back to Elfland here. And ooh, yeah, we can take these guys. It's just gonna be a bit rough of a fight if that shark hits hard. And the wrong person, dang it. Oh, nice. X just did almost half of its hit points there. Guy actually got a pretty decent hit there. And Max just killed it, so we actually just wasted Undine's spell. I'm gonna go ahead and have Guy cure himself. And if everybody does well with their attacks, we might be able to kill this thing. And they didn't do so hot there, so we'll just try that again. Now again, something to keep in mind here with the items. Sorry, my mind just completely blanked there. So items just takes you to what they have. So there are some weapons and armor later on in the game that can kind of like cast a spell or something. Well, actually, just casting spells, they don't do other like random things. So, but in order to use a potion, you have to go to drink. Now, if I were to use a heal potion here, it's not going to do the full 30 that it does out of combat. It's going to do like a random number. I think the minimum's like 15 or 16 or something. And so I think you have a slight chance of actually healing more than normal, but more often than not, you're probably actually going to heal less than 30 hit points. So it's not too good to use that, in my opinion. And okay, great. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'll just run around fighting stuff until I get to level 5, and then we'll rest up at the end. And oh yeah, we're totally doing this. We'll have her ice. You know, why not? I'm just going to go ahead and ruse, because, I mean, Guy's not going to do like a whole lot of damage anyway. And I'm just going to hope for some luck here. That they roll high on damage. Okay, that's kind of moderate. Hopefully X will roll high and kill that, but no, that's too much to ask for. We're going to go ahead and use the other ice, just because ogres we want to kill with very much killingness. We're going to go ahead and have Guy try to kill that one. Now, I believe creeps are weak to fire, and so that's why I was able to like one-shot one earlier in the game. And yeah, X just set that one up to die like very easily. And come on, Max, finish it off. There we go. And we'll have him attack there. She's still got some charges. We're gonna have her cure X. Because he's already starting to run low, and that's pretty much all he can... Actually, wait, no, that's all that guy can do, so never mind. Let's do this. We're gonna have X attack this one. Because he set it up. Oh. Dang it. Crap. Well, that sucks. That, like, really sucks. Well, because I was able to prevent it there... Dang it, X. Hackers, man. If there wasn't the chance that I'd run into so many other battles on the way to Coneria, I'd go there because it's cheaper. But I'm gonna bring him back here. Because basically if I'd finished that fight and won, then everybody else would have more experience and X than X, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna stay at the end here to get everybody up to full hit points. That's just the quickest way to do it instead of spending a bunch of cure charges and then nobody can do anything. So, and now we're also saved. Dang it. Man, X. Why you gotta go and die on me like that? No, we're gonna do ice, because I think there's a potential to do more damage than an attack can. And we're gonna hope that X rolls high on the fire damage again. Okay, and then Guy just rolls good. Oh, come on, Guy. Okay, well, I guess let's talk about some Final Fantasy dynamic stuff while we're just waiting for all this to roll on through. So Elfland is where things really got interesting. The story was definitely mixed up from how it was before. And so essentially everybody shows up in Elfland, and there's basically gonna be like a giant, like, war. Pretty much. Which isn't really going on here. You just got the prince that's all like knocked out and stuff, and and so in FFD, like I said, there's a bit more to it. Like they basically, there's a big like invasion. All of the PCs actually got to like they kind of like led a battle, and you know had all like these different fronts, and there's like a sea battle going on, and there are actually some PCs like pitted against each other because of it. Which that, you know, that's actually a whole nother bunch of stuff, because okay, we want this thing to die right away. So actually, I guess let me jump back. Actually, before Elfland, even there was actually something else that mixed things up a bit. There was the Forlab, or the Forsaken Labyrinth, that happened up at the Dwarf Caves. I knew there was a reason I was actually like heading up there. So they, again, you know, FSA kind of mixed things up a bit, and here we go. Yeah, that's what we like. So the Forsaken Labyrinth was kind of like a side event. It was kind of somewhat of a tournament. Everybody had to try and navigate this maze, and so some different players were kind of like keeping track of it on like graph paper. My brother did it like through Excel. And just like tried to figure out the maze, and then they had to get to the end and fight an enemy to, to finish it basically and like win. And so that was going on, and Astos was one of the competitors in there. So like there are NPCs in there, and we're gonna have Guy try to cure X here. Hopefully he goes before somebody kills the creep. And So Astos was in there and he talked to a couple people and told them to like say the name of a vegetable or something, and then he'd like give them power or whatever. I don't remember exactly because I hadn't quite joined yet. So we're gonna come into the castle because I don't think I came in here before. But let me finish talking about that, the Forsaken Labyrinth, at least what I know of it. And so this is where Dano first made himself famous. And he basically he won it by himself. Like he didn't want to join up with anybody else. He wanted to try and do the whole thing solo, which he did. So, you know, spoiler alert, he did. Astos attacked the castle. Prince was laid under a curse, and our treasury was ransacked. And so Dano basically made a deal because he came up to the end, and there are a couple of people there, and basically, like, if you ran into another group, you kind of had to fight them. And so, since these were two other PCs, and everybody knew what the prizes were ahead of time, Dano said, "Look, and this is kind of part of the reason he wanted to go solo, because you got a much larger prize." And so, Dano, he actually got a silver sword, and it was like engraved as, you know, recognizing him as the winner of the four lab. And then he made a deal with the other players, saying, "Hey, if you just like forfeit the tournament right now, then I'll split the prize with you." Because then he's like, you know, look, if we join up, we're not gonna we won't get as big of a prize. If we fight each other, we're just going to be depleting each other's resources, and so then it'll be harder for whoever to like win. And then if you guys go in there, like, you're not going to get as big a prize. Whereas if I win by myself, then you guys can do this. You know, then like I'll give you, you know, this much money, and you'll actually get more than what you would as finishing as a group, etc. So he ended up brokering that deal, and the other players, like, they agreed to it. And being the nice guy that he can sometimes be, there's something going on in FFD right now where Dano's not being too nice. He got buttload of money, so Dano was like, I think, the first mage to pretty much fill up on all of his spells and everything. So like that was kind of, you know, good for him. And then he. And this is also where the epic Eric block came from. So this was kind of a new ability that had been introduced. Black belts could train at the Dwarf Cave to learn an ability called block. Fighters could use defend. The defend ability would basically have any incoming physical damage. The block ability basically had a 50-50 chance to just completely nullify any damage that came in. And so that was one thing that happened is Eric, the black belt, just kind of stood right near the exit and just blocked off all these monsters to help Dano be able to finish the fight. So it was kind of, you know, pretty epic, and that's about when I came in. This guy tells about the dwarf cave that we just happened to find by happenstance or something. Okay, we come up here. So apparently Astos attacked 5 years ago. Only Herb can wake him, and somebody told us that Matoya has that to help the prince, and he's just sleeping. So Astos apparently doesn't have a plan to execute. He doesn't have a really well thought out plan to execute the whole takeover or something, because he attacked and put the prince to sleep 5 years ago and hasn't done anything. This guy tells us the same thing as that other guy, or no, I think he is the other guy. He just wandered all the way over there. Yeah, Astos put the prince to sleep, save him. These guys basically say the same thing. This treasure room is locked with the mystical key. What treasure room, you crazy person? He's like way down there. And so we can see the door's locked with the mystic key. And so we'll just exit out there. Just wanted to show that to everybody real quick. Let's see. I think we're good for another battle. We'll have Undine cure Max up a little. Oh, and yeah, we're 9 experience away, so we'll get that level and then we'll finish for today. And now, see, this is a prime example where Fur 2 would just be awesome to have right now, because then we could just clear the map much quicker. Don't have that. You know, I'm gonna trust that she can just kill a wolf. And we're gonna have him fire the girl wolf well, Max does a decent amount of damage. I don't know if you do, like, you can kill it, but I don't think it's guaranteed. So we're gonna play it safe there. Yeah, there we go, guy. Come on, Max. What the heck? Let me go ahead and have him do another fire. And, oh, I guess those guys have a little bit more hit points than I thought they did. Okay. Wow, that was just an absolutely awful round. Looks like most of the enemies got to go before us that time. There we go. And next time I think we might just kind of run around a little bit more, but still be playing it safe. Not gonna try and progress the story too much. Actually, next time might be one of those videos I was talking about where I might just grind for like an hour to get a couple levels, and so I'll do a nice little 80s training montage for you guys. There we go. Max gets more hit points. Undine just gets a weak hit point up, so does Guy. And so does X. So we're not getting a whole lot of hit points on the other three there. So I'm doing money-wise. Yeah, it's gonna be a while until the next level. Running pretty low on magic. I'm probably gonna regret it, but I'm gonna do one more battle. And now all my magic's gone, of course. Well, luckily we mostly attacked at max. No. I hope that he can take that one out. We're gonna double ice this one. I'm just praying that these things keep attacking Max, because they're not going to do a whole lot of damage to him. Yeah, see that? Max just got 2 hits there. Because he got just enough off that level up to put him up there. And so, well, now we're just down to... It's going to be a little plink fest here. I don't think I'm gonna get enough money from this fight, actually. We're gonna go ahead and mix it up a little bit here. And, well, I'm really glad I did that, because now I'm not gonna waste that spell. Luckily, the 2 ineffectives there were gonna be with the less likely attacks to have killed it. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to rest at the end after this one. But yeah, see, Max is already doing like way more damage. Yeah, so one more fight would probably get me enough, but if I have another fight like that, like, I just don't have the resources to like kind of make it through. So we're just gonna duck into Elfland here, Elfland City proper. Just make sure, okay, good, I got everybody's stuff equipped. Just want to be, make sure I'm not forgetting something there. Yeah, see, 1500, like just short. And actually, oh yeah, so they actually have one shot of a level 3 spell now. As you can see, Undine does not, so she has 4 level 1, 3 level 2, whereas the other guys have 4, 3, 1. So black and white mages do get spell charges a little bit quicker than red mages do. Starting out, like, first few levels, it's pretty even, but then there's definitely a change there. So, you're gonna have Max wave goodbye once more. And thank you again for watching Let's Play Final Fantasy Dynamics Edition. Next episode, like I said, it's probably gonna be just some general, like, kind of grinding. But I'll see what I can do to make it a little bit more entertaining. And like I said, I'll definitely speed it up, so you're not just going to watch an hour of me, like, killing stuff. I don't think I have enough material to talk about to do that, but yeah, so we'll return here hopefully soon, and yeah, I guess that's it. So I'm not going to you might see me, like, purchase Fur 2 during all that video, like, you know, go by pretty quick, but other than that, I'm probably not going to be, I'm gonna, like, hold off any other purchases until we come back in to the game. So we'll see you on the next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy Dynamics Edition. Peace out.